It looks like Blake Lively has a little hobby, setting up celebs just like she and hubby Ryan Reynolds did with Justin Baldoni. Yes, turns out Justin's not Blake's only victim.
She's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud.
Here are 5 celebs this power couple has tried to set up. Let's start with the one name on the list that's gonna shock you the most. Number 1, Robert Downey Jr. Oh yeah, not exactly what you expected, right? Well, Iron Man is seriously beefing with these two.
Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds.
Here's what happened. Robert straight up turned down a cameo in Deadpool 3. According to screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, they wanted him to do a cameo, but RDJ was not interested. We had wanted him to do a cameo. We had written that scene to start with Happy and Downey. At first, people assumed he was just over Marvel and wanted to move on, but there was one problem with that. He was already in talks to return as Dr. Doom. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds had no idea and thought he just got ghosted. We wrote scenes and Downey read the scenes, but what we didn't know behind the scenes was this Dr. Doom thing. Ouch. That's gotta be a hit to his ego. But here's the thing, nobody's buying that RDJ's rejection was just about Marvel. I think it has way more to do with Ryan's behind the scenes antics, which according to insiders are very annoying. Candace Owens also threw in her 2 cents saying,
Candace Owens posted to her story saying she spoke to a source that claims Ryan Reynolds is the problem. She said the tip came from someone who allegedly worked on the set and said lately everyone is bashing Blake Lively, but apparently the true villain of the saga is.
Even Ryan's Deadpool co-stars have hinted at it.
Yeah. What is up with Deadpool 3? That's a really good question. I have to be very diplomatic about what I say here.
Morena Baccarin, who played Vanessa, subtly called out how she was basically sidelined.
Morena Baccarin was pretty much left out of all press and any events for the new installment of the superhero franchise.
Here's what she had to say about the situation. I can understand that people felt that way, and I certainly was disappointed that I didn't have more to do because I just loved the part so much. Insiders claim Ryan didn't allow her to be part of the Deadpool movie premieres. Even Tim Miller, the first Deadpool director, had enough of Ryan's takeover tactics.
It became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise. You can work that way as a director quite successfully, but I can't. I don't mind having a debate, but if I can't win, I don't want to play.
It's not just them though. The whole franchise hates Ryan. Then there's TJ Miller, who played Weasel, and oh boy, does he have thoughts.
I think that he would know there was a rift with you guys.
Or he's so deluded that he's like, everybody loves me. Everybody likes me, so TJ probably just wishes that he could work with me.
The beef was so bad, Miller straight up said,
It's like, I would not have done Deadpool 3 if they came to me and they were like, we want you to do Deadpool 3 and we're going to pay you twice as much.
Over that one incident?
Ouch. He even hinted that Ryan let fame go to his head, saying, I think after he got super famous from the first Deadpool, then things kind of changed. And here's the golden question.
Would I work with him again? No.
No.
I would not work with him.
Now, Robert Downey may have escaped Blake and Ryan just in time, but poor. Number 2, Justin Baldoni ended up in court. Blake and Baldoni were supposed to deliver swoon-worthy chemistry in their movie It Ends With Us, but off camera, it did end with them in court.
15 seconds. That's all it takes.
Things started off fine, but somewhere between the script readings and the premiere date, Blake filed a lawsuit against Justin, accusing him of sexual harassment and orchestrating a smear campaign against her. Justin, obviously not one to take things lightly, clapped back with a $400 million defamation lawsuit. Because if you're gonna sue in Hollywood, you might as well go big.
Claims civil extortion, defamation, and that all of this really is about her wanting to have control of the movie.
And if that wasn't enough, the drama is now getting its very own documentary. He Said, She Said Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni is set to air soon, ensuring that if anyone missed the messy details, they'll get to relive it in high definition. And it doesn't stop there. Apparently, Ryan pulled the ultimate Hollywood power move, telling WME it's us or him.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively get Justin Baldoni fired from his agency, WME.
Now that's cocky and crappy.
Saying it is an effed up bad situation with what Baldoni, whatever his name is doing.
And listen, at this point, it's not just Baldoni or random insiders talking about Ryan's and Blake controlling ways. Now, let's move on to another one of Lively's victims. Number 3, Leighton Meester. If you were a fan of Gossip Girl, and let's be honest, who wasn't, you probably imagined that Blake Lively and Leighton Meester were besties in real life. Two glamorous actresses playing the ultimate frenemies. Surely they had to be close behind the scenes, right? Yeah, not exactly.
If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck. The only prostitute here is you.
By now, we all know what happens when Ryan and Blake sense competition. They come at their co-stars. In this case, it all started with this one joke that crossed the line.
And required occasion.
Yeah.
If you blinked, you might have missed it, but don't worry, I got you. Blake, in that usual, effortlessly charming tone, makes a joke about Leighton being born in a cage. Yes, she really said that. Now, if you know anything about Leighton's background, you already see why this was beyond inappropriate. Leighton wasn't just born under unusual circumstances. Her mother gave birth to her while serving time in a federal prison. That's not some quirky fun fact. It's a real part of her past that she's worked hard to move beyond.
People, the situation that you were in with your parents and everything.
My parents had been part of a very interesting lifestyle, I guess you could say.
They were in prison.
But here's where it gets worse. Blake didn't just casually mention Leighton's upbringing. She made sure to frame it as a joke, something people could laugh at. And the way she delivered it, like it was some inside joke everyone was in on, except Leighton herself. Because let's be real, Blake knew what she was doing. But if you thought that comment was bad, just wait. Blake didn't stop at bringing up Leighton's childhood. In the same interview, she made another comment that rubbed people the wrong way, this time about her Gossip Girl co-stars, including Leighton. She referred to them as pet monkeys.
Another promise was no pet monkey. Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
And it wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. That awkward silence, that forced laughter. Yeah, even the room knew she crossed a line. And if that wasn't enough, Blake went for round 3. Leighton, who's naturally blonde but dyed her hair brown for a Gossip Girl, was simply explaining why her character had to be a brunette. And Blake, instead of just letting her speak, she had to throw in,
I think I'm just brunette because of the books.
And everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
because apparently she couldn't resist taking yet another dig. At this point, it's not even subtle. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you sabotage your co-star. Of course, as you all probably know, Anna Kendrick was dealt the same hand. Number 4, Anna Kendrick fans have long known that Anna Kendrick wasn't exactly thrilled about working with Blake again after A Simple Favor. And get this, on the poster for A Simple Favor 2, Blake's name is placed oddly higher than Anna's. Now, Anna has the bigger body of work and more box office success, so naturally people are wondering, did Blake pull some strings to get that prime positioning? Because let's not forget, she pulled the same stunt with It Ends With Us. See how it's just Blake Lively's name right on top there? So, Another Simple Favor was supposed to be a huge deal for Amazon. But instead of building hype, the only thing surrounding this movie right now is bad press and Blake Lively's full-blown legal meltdown. And let's be honest, that's not the kind of attention Amazon was hoping for. Now, usually when actors go on a press tour, they at least pretend to enjoy each other's company. It's basic PR, smile, say nice things, and make it seem like filming was an absolute dream. But Anna Kendrick, she didn't even try to fake it.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again?
That wasn't just a response, that was a statement. The kind you make when you want people to read between the lines. And just to drive the point home, compare that to how Blake answered the same question.
Blake, what does it mean to be back with Anna?
Oh, it's the best, I'm so happy.
Yeah, no, someone's lying and it's definitely not Anna. And let's not forget, this tension isn't new.
How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
That's not just awkward, that's pure disdain. And if this is what they're like in public, imagine what's happening behind the scenes. Number 5, Kjersti Flaa. Well, before we get into what Blake did to Flaa, I want you to remember something. If you've ever had a painfully awkward interaction at work, just know that at least it wasn't broadcasted to millions. Now, back in 2016, journalist Kjersti Flaa, a well-respected entertainment journalist, was just doing her job, conducting an interview like she had countless times before. But instead of answering her questions like a professional, Blake straight up ignored her. Not just a little awkward silence, full-on blatant dismissal.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
It was bad. So bad that Kjersti later admitted that the experience actually made her consider walking away from journalism altogether.
Chatting with each other as if nobody else was in the room.
The father with his tank top.
And I walked out of that room and I was just like, I wanted to throw up. I just felt so awful.
And of course, when people started calling Blake out, the excuses rolled in. Some claimed she had been given strict orders not to talk about her pregnancy, implying that Kjersti broke some kind of unwritten rule. But Kjersti herself shut that down real quick. Please do not believe the rumor that people are spreading saying that I was told not to bring up Blake's pregnancy during this interview. That is not true.